Hello dear students. So in the last lecture we discussed about what is microprocessor. So we had seen the microprocessor is mainly used as a CPU inside the computer. Then we discussed about the block diagram of the computer and the various parts and their functions. Then finally we discussed about the different types of buses. Today we will first of all discuss on what is microprocessor-based system. Then we'll discuss about the comparison between the microprocessor and the microcontroller. And lastly, we'll focus our discussion on what is 8051 microcontroller. So students, when we say a microprocessor-based system, then having just a microprocessor chip is not enough. We need many different supporting peripheral chips along with the main processor. Say for example, when we say dedicated microcontroller based system, you need a main processor, let us say 8086, 80286, 386 processor. So main processor, along with that you need many different chips. For example, for serial communication you need to have 8250 called as the USART. UART is the Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter and USART is the Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. 8251 is the chip used for USART. Next, you need to have a parallel data transfer. For that purpose, 8255 called as the programmable parallel interface, a dedicated chip that is used to deal with the interrupts. You need a dedicated chip called as the 8259 priority interrupt controller. In addition to this, to fulfill the memory requirement, we need externally interface both RAM as well as ROM. So you need to interface all these supporting peripheral chips along with the main processor to have a complete microprocessor based system. When we say microcontroller, you will find that many of these features are available on chip. Microcontroller provides a single chip solution. Say for example, a microcontroller is having on-chip full duplex serial port. Also, it is having on-chip 4 parallel ports used for parallel data transfer. As far as the interrupts are concerned, it is having on-chip 5 interrupt handling capability. Also, having 2 timer counters available on chip. In addition to this, the microcontrollers are having small part of memory chips, both RAM and ROM available on chip. That's why for small dedicated applications, nowadays microcontrollers are preferred over the microprocessors. You will find plenty of applications, let us say home appliances, in the washing machine, in the dishwasher, in the television, in the traffic controller, in the temperature controller, in the industrial applications, mainly programmable logic controllers where the microcontrollers are used. Using that you can control the different parameters, different processes that are going on in the industry. So basically for automation purpose, the microcontrollers are preferred over the microprocessors. Now we'll discuss about a dedicated chip, because there are many different microcontrollers. You have to choose as per your application. We will learn about 8051, 8-bit microcontroller. So let us discuss what is 8051 microcontroller. 8051 microcontroller is the 8-bit microcontroller, because the ALU of the 8051 can perform 8-bit arithmetic and logical operations. There are microcontrollers which are 16-bit because their ALU can perform 16-bit operations. So the 8051, which is called as the 8-bit microcontroller, is having 8-bit CPU optimized for control applications. Then the second feature, it is having one full duplex serial port available on chip. Full duplex serial port available on chip. For parallel data transfer, you will find the 8051 microcontroller is having 4 parallel ports available on chip, namely P0, P1 and P2 and P3. All these are 8-bit parallel ports. Then you will find the 8051 microcontroller is having 5 interrupts with 2 priority levels. Then you will find there are having 2 16-bit timer counters available on chip, namely T0 and T1. Then in addition to this, the 8051 microcontroller is having on-chip memory available. Total, there is a 64K program memory and 64K data memory space available with the 8051 microcontroller. 64K program memory and 64K data memory. Out of this, you will find 4K program memory available on chip. And 128 bytes of RAM, that is also available on chip, that is data memory. Also, the 8051 microcontroller is having on-chip clock generator using the quad crystal, the required operating frequency 12 MHz which is generated. Also, one of the important feature of the microcontroller is that it is having bit handling capability. You can set or reset the single bit. There are instructions available in the microcontroller which is very useful feature for control application. So that is all about the what is 8051 and about the various features. As far as the buses are concerned, in the 8051 there is a 16-bit address bus and 8-bit data bus along with the various control signals. We'll discuss about the pin details of the 8051 microcontroller in our next lecture. Thank you.